Hello, hello. As you come in, please say hello down below. Tell me where you're coming in from. We'll wait just a couple of minutes. And then hopefully you've got an open mind, because I'm going to give you some mind-blowing information right out of Nobel Prize winning quantum physics and apply it in a practical way. Say hello down below. Help you apply it in a practical way to get through this COVID craziness and to live in a place of power versus disempowerment. Hi, Diane. Thanks for being here. And that's what everyone's looking for. You know, as we start to slowly come out of this, people are continuously asking me in coaching calls and in social media and in email and elsewhere, you know, what do I need to do to get through this corona craziness and to get back into life and to come back stronger? Well, let's talk about this here today. Hello, Camilla. Because this is very practical and you're going to have to open your mind. So, first and foremost, let me say to you that you've been trained poorly. With all due respect, you've been trained poorly by your school systems, by your parents, by your clergy, by your family members, nuclear as well as extended, by the media, by the government. You've been trained poorly. And, you know, sometimes it's been malicious, quite frankly, not all the time. You know, sometimes there's been malintent, not all the time. Sometimes it's just come from ignorance. Now, you know, think about this. Every single thing you tend to believe is true. Every single thing you tend to think is valuable. All truths that you hold, did I say by religion as well? Poorly trained. If I missed that one, that's a big one. Everything you think is true or valuable, think about this. If you're really honest with yourself, you believe it to be true, you believe it to be valuable, you believe it to be right, you believe it to be possible because you've been told that by someone. Now, there could have been malintention, there could have been good intention, it could have just been grounded in ignorance. But here's the fact: if you look at that and you understand that, then you also understand that whatever you've been told, someone told them, and they were told by someone who was told by someone who was told by someone. And most of us never, ever stop now and question what we've been told. We've just bought hook, line, and sinker what we've been spoon-fed. Dennis, listen up here, man. I'm giving you some life-changing things here, and you're focusing on the wrong stuff. I'm not, come on. With all due respect, why are you here? I'm going to help you change your life. All right? So you've been told that certain things are valuable and certain things are true and certain things are possible, and you just bought it. Hook, line, and sinker. Well, what you've been told is a lie. And I'll tell you why. And I'm going to back it up with quantum physics. Hard, cold science. Now, let's get into that. Open your mind. I'm assuming because you're a follower of mine that you're ready for more and looking for more on my live than how to, build a funnel or how to download a swipe file with 3 easy steps that'll make you a millionaire. I mean, please. All right. But the bottom line is we're talking about fundamentals here. We're talking about how to build a successful, truly successful and sustainable and fulfilling life. We're talking about your own redemption. Title of my latest book, The Business of Redemption. Redemption means to take your power back. It means to pay the price to regain what you've given away. And in many cases, what you've given away, you've sold your birthright. You've sold out, maybe consciously or at least unconsciously. Because you bought hook, line, and sinker what you're spoon-fed since the time you were born. And by the way, I did too. And yet you can break out of that when you see things clearly. Now, first of all, Dr. John Wheeler, Nobel Prize winning theoretical physicist from Princeton, postulated, and God rest his soul, he's moved on to another life, but he postulated what's called the multiple worlds theory. And he says there are multiple universes that coexist simultaneously right here and now. Now, that's mind-boggling. And you say, well, James, if there's multiple universes that exist, and they exist in this room that I'm talking to you from right now, there's multiple universes all around me and around you as well, regardless of where you are. And you say, well, James, I can't see multiple universes. Exactly. Thank you, Anand. Exactly. You can't see them. Here's the point. The point is that you live in a 1% world. Now, what we know with our current measurements and current instrumentation is that, first of all, everything in this universe is comprised of 99.99999% energy. A synonym for that is light. And what we know is that energy is always in a wave function until we change it into a particle. I won't get into that here today, but its natural state is a wave function, and all energy has a wave pattern. Now, in science, we call that a frequency. And there's all different frequencies of energy, from a very, very low vibration or frequency, about 2 cycles per second, all the way up to what we can measure. It doesn't mean that's all there is, but we have limited capacity to measure. But right now, we can measure what's called cosmic waves. And those oscillate or vibrate at 10 billion cycles per second. 10 billion. That's a lot of zeros. I often ask, how much is 10 billion? The answer is a lot. All right? It's a lot. It's a lot of zeros. And so, if we live in this whole range, and obviously it's more than 10 billion, it's infinite, but we can't measure anything beyond that. So let's just use this as our measurement. We live in a range of 2 cycles per second all the way up to 10 billion cycles per second. Okay? And so now let's go to Nobel Prize winning physicist Dr. Albert Einstein, who said everything is energy. And that's all there is to it. He said, I'm still quoting, he said, if you find the frequency of the reality you choose to experience and you match that frequency, you cannot help but get that experience. I'm still quoting. He said, this is not philosophy, this is physics. Did you get that? Nobel Prize winning Einstein. If you find the frequency of the reality you want to experience and you match that frequency, you cannot help but get that experience. Now, that's enough. I could hang up right now and bounce out of here, and you could think about that one for the next year and still not master it. But what's he telling us? He's telling us that if you want to change your reality, it's already here. It's already here. And what do you have to do? You have to find the frequency of the reality you want to experience, and you have to match that frequency. And when you do that, then you cannot help but get that experience. Are you with me on this? Now let's go back to Dr. John Wheeler, Nobel Prize winning from Princeton, who said there's multiple universes. And he furthermore stated, the whole law of attraction is a very limited view. It's a viewpoint for people, with all due respect. I know I was in the movie The Secret and I was in the book, but with all due respect, it's a childish viewpoint for people who are caught in the matrix, who are conditioned in the lie. Because it's so much more than that. Do this, attract this. Do this, attract this. Cause and effect. But the reality is there is no cause and effect. When you operate from the realm of the real world instead of the shadow world in which we are imprisoned, there's no cause and effect. Cause and effect are one. There's only cause. And so consequently, what we have to do is not learn the law of attraction. We have to learn the law of expansion. Expansion of what? Expansion of consciousness so that we get big enough to embrace what already is here. Are you with me on this? And so how do we do that? Well, here's the lie, one of the many lies you've been conditioned into. You've been conditioned into a world of the sensory factors. Sight, hearing, touch, taste, smell. If I can't see it, hear it, taste it, touch it, or smell it, it doesn't exist. Well, let me tell you something. The sensory factors are a prison, and you've been conditioned into a prison, and you bought it hook, line, and sinker. Because what we know scientifically, this is not philosophy, this is science, is that you live in a very small realm of the totality of existence, in a 1% realm called visible light. Let me give you a simple example. You can't see radio waves, but they're all around you, and they're all around me right now. You can't see microwaves. Nathan, listen to what I'm saying, man. I don't know why some people come in. I'm giving you game-changing, life-changing information, and some people come in and ask comments that are so trivial. With all due respect, my friend, seriously, these are blue blocker glasses. Are you happy? They protect my eyes from computers. Okay? Now, listen to what I'm saying, because it might just save your life. Now, let me get back on point. Is that you live in a 1% world called visible light. But that's a trap, because you can't see microwaves either, but they're all around you. You can't see cellular waves, but they're bombarding your nervous system right now. And don't even get me started on that one. That's a whole nother topic. You can't see ultraviolet waves, but they're all around you. There's so many things, from a couple cycles per second all the way up to 10 billion that exist, and you operate in this little 1% realm called visible light. And you say this is reality. No, it's not. It's a fraction of reality. And you've been conditioned into a lie that says you are a physical body. So when COVID crazy comes out, you go, I might get a virus. No, you can't get a virus. Your body might get a virus, and by the way, it's well equipped to handle it. Our immune systems have developed over millions and millions of years, and they're meant to be exercised, not sanitized. Sanitization of the immune system creates weakness. And so consequently, because you think you're a body, I might die. You can't die, because you are not a body. And so you're not working for 8 weeks, 9 weeks, whatever it's been, and your pieces of paper are dwindling. Oh my God, I might die. Oh my God, I can't pay my bills. Well, those pieces of paper are not who you are. Those pieces of paper are absolutely worthless. Ask our friends from India about the old rupees. I mean, the only reason that money has any value is because we agree it has value, and someone might change their mind anytime. You say, that won't happen in my country. Really? You didn't think that any of this would happen in your country, did you? But it did. It happened worldwide. You think you're your business. You're not your business. That's a lie. You think you're your body. You think you're your bank account. Those are things you experience. Who are you? You are infinite intelligence, infinite potential, infinite possibility. This is not philosophy. This is science. Having a single pointed experience in a body, utilizing a body, not being a body, but utilizing a body. And you're utilizing that to experience a 1% realm, which is called visible light, that you are chained to by your sensory factors. But you have to move beyond your sensory factors. And that takes a lot of work because you've been conditioned. You can change a habit, but to change your conditioning is sometimes next to impossible. It takes a tremendous amount of work and it takes help. You can't do it by yourself. You just can't. You can't. So what you have to begin to understand and to realize and to work on is that every single thing you think you want already exists. That's John Wheeler, Nobel Prize winning John Wheeler, Princeton. He says we don't create anything. Everything's already created. God created it. Spirit created it. Infinite intelligence created it. And it's all in quantum superposition. What we need to do is get ourselves into the frequency, Nobel Prize winning Albert Einstein, to match that, not law of attraction, law of expansion. Get bigger in your awareness, in your awakening. The single most powerful thing you can invest in, and most people don't get this, most people never will. You know, they'd rather download a swipe file. And I'm not being disrespectful. They'd rather learn some marketing techniques or some sales techniques, or they'd rather go to school and learn some outdated information from a professor. Why do you think that teachers in school are called professors? Because they profess, but most of them have never done anything. You know, they just profess. And that's how we're conditioned from the time we are born. Break out. Take your power back. Wake up. You know, if I can help you, I'd be blessed and honored to help you. That's the role for me today, you know, in this world. The role for my purpose in this world is to decrease human suffering and to increase happiness and fulfillment. Because most people just aren't happy and fulfilled because they're buying into the lies and they're chasing the things that are not real and they're living in a 1% world. And they wonder why they can't ever feel happy and fulfilled. I wonder. Look, I know we're pushing the envelope here in psychology, philosophy, and physics, and yet I'm assuming because you are here, how do you get on the frequency you want? Let me answer that question real quickly. You have to get rid of the shadows, Andrea, because psychology tells us that 95% of what you do every single day is driven by your unconscious. And so you are programmed, you're conditioned from the time you were small, and you have these traumas, micro, macro, and you have these unresolved emotional issues. And those things are weighing you down and holding you down, and they're creating fear, and they're creating anger, and they're creating frustration. And you don't know why, because it's unconscious. 95% of what you do is every day is driven by your unconscious. Here's the rub. You cannot deal with something you're unconscious of. You need someone to help you make the unconscious conscious. Because when you make the unconscious conscious, now you can begin to heal it, release it, and set yourself free. And that takes work, and it's a lifetime of work. It doesn't happen on social media. You know, so many times, people, let me just say this, and I'm going to bounce out of here in a minute, because I've given you enough to think about for a year and to work on for a year. And I don't care who you are or where you are. You're not even close to your potential. But so many times people ask me on social media to coach them or to give them insights. And let me just say this, you know, social media is not a coaching platform. It's an information dissemination platform. That's it. You cannot transform your life by watching videos or reading books or being on a social media platform. It's not you need to work with a teacher and a coach up close and personal and go deep and roll up your sleeves and do the work. If you're ready to do that, there's a link above my head. It goes right to the website, jamesrear.com. We have a whole host of opportunities for you there, coaching opportunities. If you're really, hey, Laura, there's Laura. She's a member of our Project Stay Home, which we've created since COVID craziness. And that's our most accessible coaching program, where you can tune in via Zoom with me and Bersabeh once a week, 4 times a month. and get what you need to start to do these things to change the frequency that you're operating upon. So anyway, I want to thank you for being here. Send all the infinite love and God's blessings to you. And I appreciate you. I really, really do. If I can help you, it'd be an honor and a privilege. Just click the link above my head. There's a whole host of ways that we can help you. And that's what we're here to do, to help minimize human suffering and to maximize happiness and fulfillment. And so let us know. Just let us know. And have a masterful day. If this made a blessing to you and if it made an impact for you, please hit the share button. And this is how, just hit that share button. It's really easy. It's right down there. And just spread this to the people that you love and care about. All right? God bless. We'll talk soon.